In the world of luxury dive watches, you've got your icons, and then you've got your absolute legends. Well, today, we're staging a showdown between two of the heaviest hitters out there, the freshly redesigned Omega Planet Ocean going head-to-head with the undisputed king of the hill, the Rolex Submariner.
So let's set the stage because this is a fascinating matchup. For a long time, the Planet Ocean was kind of Omega's hardcore tool diver, you know? It went up against Rolex's bigger, beefier Sea Dweller. But this latest version, it completely changes the game. It's now way slimmer, way more refined, and it is aiming directly for the Submariner's crown. This is the new title fight, for sure.
All right, round one. We're getting into the design, and we're not just talking about how they look. We're going to dig into something much more important. How do these watches actually feel and wear on your wrist day in and day out?
Okay, let's break down the numbers, because the specs on paper tell a huge part of the story here. Look, the diameters are pretty much a wash, 42 versus 41 millimeters. But check out the thickness. The Sub is famous for being svelte, right around 12 millimeters. That's the magic number that lets it disappear under a cuff. But the Planet Ocean, coming in at 13.8 millimeters, that's a massive, massive change from what it used to be, and it puts it in a totally new weight class for wearability.
And honestly, this is the single biggest story here. Shaving off almost 2.5 millimeters, that is a game changer. It takes the Planet Ocean from being this awesome but kinda chunky specialized tool watch and turns it into something you can genuinely wear every single day with anything. It's a total transformation that puts it right in the Submariner's territory.
So how do they actually approach the whole idea of luxury? I think this quote from Thomas at Fratello just nails the Rolex philosophy. The Submariner's luxury doesn't come from being flashy. It comes from just perfect, deliberate execution. It feels incredible because every line, every surface is refined to its absolute essence. It just has this quiet confidence.
Omega, on the other hand, is taking a totally different path with this new Planet Ocean. It's all about these sharp, crisp, angular lines. It feels very modern, very architectural. It's not just a careful update of an old design, it's a bold new statement. So really, the choice is yours. Do you want that timeless, smooth, classic refinement, or do you want a sharp, cutting-edge modern look?
Okay, round two. Time to pop the hood. Let's look at the engines that power these two titans. We're talking movements, certifications, and the raw performance specs that show what these things are really made of.
So Omega's big flex is its master chronometer certification from Midas. Now what that means in the real world is that the whole watch is tested for accuracy and for something incredible, resistance to magnetic fields up to 15,000 Gauss. Think about all the electronics around us, laptops, speakers, phones. All that stuff can mess up a mechanical watch. With this one, it's basically immune. That's some seriously practical, modern tech.
Rolex does things their own way, with their legendary superlative chronometer standard. The headline here is the accuracy. We're talking an insane -2 to +2 seconds per day. And this is key, that's tested after the movement is already inside the watch case. It is without a doubt one of the most rigorous and respected standards in the entire industry.
Now, when you put the movements side by side, you can really see their different philosophies. Omega has its unique coaxial escapement, which is designed to reduce friction and improve stability over the long haul. Rolex has its super efficient Chronergy escapement, which helps it achieve a longer power reserve. And speaking of power reserve, you can see right there, Rolex pulls ahead with a pretty significant 10-hour advantage.
And this chart just makes that crystal clear. So what does that 70-hour power reserve on the Submariner really mean for you? It means you can take it off Friday night after work, leave it on your nightstand all weekend, and pick it up Monday morning and it'll still be ticking away perfectly. If you're someone who likes to switch up your watches, those extra 10 hours are a huge practical plus.
All right, on to our third and final round, and this one might be the decider for a lot of you. We're going to talk about the reality of actually getting one of these watches on your wrist. We're talking about price, and maybe even more important, we're talking about availability. First up, the Omega. If you want the new Seamaster Planet Ocean on the bracelet, the official retail price is $9,500. Nice and simple, right? A clear number.
And what about the Rolex Submariner? Well, the official retail price is, what do you know, exactly the same, $9,500. So if you just look at the sticker price, these two are in a dead heat. But, and this is a huge but, anyone who's been into watches for more than 5 minutes knows that the manufacturer's suggested retail price is often just that, a suggestion. So what's the real story?
Yeah, the Submariner tells a very different story on the open market.
You're not paying retail. You're looking at paying well over $11,000. Now, that's not just a price tag. That's a flashing neon sign that says overwhelming, non-stop demand. And this right here might just be the biggest difference of them all. You can, for the most part, walk into an Omega dealer and buy a Planet Ocean today. For the Submariner, you get to put your name on a list. And that wait list, it could be a few months or it could be a few years. For anyone who just wants to buy a watch and enjoy it, that is a massive, massive factor.
So, we've broken down the design, the tech, and the market realities. Now it's time to put it all together and land on a verdict. Look, there isn't one single winner here that's right for everybody, but what we can do is help you figure out which of these incredible watches is the right champion for you, based on what you actually care about.
Let's just boil it all down. If you're the kind of person who geeks out on cutting-edge tech like that Meta certification, if you want a bold, modern design, and, crucially, if you want to be able to buy your watch right now, the Omega Planet Ocean is your champion. No doubt about it. But if you value that untouchable brand heritage, if that slimmer profile and longer power reserve are key for you, and if you just want to own the undisputed icon that sets the standard for everything else, then the Rolex Submariner is the one you chase.
In the end, this whole showdown leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? Does a watch become a true icon by relentlessly perfecting a timeless formula for decades like Rolex? Or does it get there by being bold enough to push boundaries and completely rewrite the rules like Omega? The answer, I think, is why we find this stuff so compelling.